So here I am on the Cambridge to Paris rail trail, and I just bumped into this cyclist. What are you doing here, sir?
Well, it's such a nice afternoon. It's warm, it's April. It's time I got on my bike and enjoyed the trail.
It's very nice.
I love this trail.
Yeah, what are you, where are you headed?
Well, I live in the southwest corner of Cambridge, Galt, kind of close to that subdivision up there on the hill called Sheps.
Oh yeah.
So I'm on the other side of the river. And I come down here, it only takes me a few minutes from my house, and I go all the way down this trail for about 3 miles until I get to a little spot called Glen Morris, where I can pick me up and wade in the river, and it's just a beautiful spot. I could go further to Paris, that's another 3 miles, and it's just like this all the way along the trail, and it's beautiful, but today I'm only going to Glen Morris.
Okay, well, happy trails. See you on the trail.
All right.
All right, just another point on the Cambridge to Paris rail trail. I've stopped at this Canadian General Tower Limited Overlook, which is just a plaque that was put up by the Grand River Conservation Authority. The quote says, "If the slow way of the seasons has lost its magic for some of us, we are all diminished." Very good point. And here we just have the river flowing along. By the way, I'm Dave. I'm Elaine Keller's assistant and humble video person. And so yeah, just heading down the trail, checking out the scenery. There's this ridge here of the Carolinian forest that kind of tapers along and is occasionally broken up by hydro wires and homes and stuff like that. But generally this is a very nice spot, calming, and just within minutes of Cambridge, which is that way. Over here we have the Highway 24 heading towards Brantford, Paris, and yeah, like 2 minutes that way is Galt. Okay, I'll keep you posted. All right, a little further down the trail, we have some homes that are just along the side of the highway. Some people might appreciate the location of these homes. They're very pretty, but they're right next to the highway, so it's a busy corridor here. So that's either a pro or a con for some people. But yeah, this is just where things start to get a little bit marshy here, because there's a bit of space between the river, which is over there. You can kind of see it. And then here's sort of a marshy gully, or whatever you want to call it, a crevasse or a ravine or whatever this is. And it's got this is where the biodiversity kicks in, because even now you can hear, it's currently mid-April or whatever, and you can hear the bugs are in there doing their thing. You can just hear them. And so on this side you have the urban cars, and over here you have the biodiversity. So this is where they kind of meet. Anyway, we'll keep going. All right, now we're at the Esso. So the one hub of urban sprawl here is the Esso. So that's how you know you're it's a little landmark if you know this highway at all. There's not much to say about it, I guess, other than all hail Esso. And here we are, just a little further down. It gets a little different as you go along, there's people riding by and whatnot, but this area here is it's got some interesting, barren trees and this sort of field of unfarmed field here of something's going on here. Looks almost like there's a farm here, but yeah, this is the kind of stuff you see when you're on the trail. You might think there's really nothing to see here, but for the nature lover, it's a very exciting place. There's even a robin over there kind of watching. But yeah, I'll continue down the trail, and anytime there's a landmark or whatever, or point of interest, I will stop. Oh yeah, I knew there was another reason I stopped here. This is where the road diverges. Up that way is where Brantford is. Goes up around the bend, and then 5 kilometers later, you start to see Brantford, the town, sort of sprawls out there. And then if you go that way, you end up on another road that kind of follows the trail a little bit more. So that's the trail that kind of goes to Paris. It's another bit of a highway, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, so that's just the point here, is it's a little fork in the road, as it were. Well, here we are at, wait a second, it's you again.
Yeah, it's me. I'm just resting here, having a little drink of water along the way. And I'm thinking about this trailer park that's been here for at least over 50 years.
You don't say.
And it's right on the river. There's quite a few buildings and trailers in here. It's just a beautiful spot. I don't really like the highway that goes along here, but it doesn't go along for much. And then it curves away.
Yeah.
But it's the time of day, late afternoon, when people are going home from work.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's very quiet here. But this campground is quite delightful, and it's right on the river.
Yeah.
And you can rent a trailer space there and put your trailer there if you want.
So you can live there.
Yeah.
So people live here.
Yeah, I think some of them live there year round.
And what is the name of this thing? Do we know?
There was a name. I think it's up there for the next stone.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm going.
All right, see ya. Well, here it is, the actual, well, part of the trailer park. You can, no trespassing, so I can't go past this line, but there's like the main building. What does it say there? 9999. I can't really read that, but it's some kind of a trailer park, and I've ridden by it many times. And then there's just some riverside accoutrements here, just like this, some boggy little streams and whatever, but the river's just over there. So this isn't really a campsite, but it's a private trailer park that you can rent, and you can live here, or you can just like come here in nice weather and have a good time. I think there's like, I saw like a tennis court or something in there. Very nice. Well, I stopped here because you can hear the cry of the mighty bullfrog. I guess it's the mating call of the bullfrog. I guess it's that time of year or day or whatever. And this sort of marshy area, more of the biodiversity I mentioned that relates to the Carolinian forest, which is all around us here. Again, there's that road that kind of follows the trail. It's not the Brantford Road, it's like the Paris Road, and this is the Paris Rail Trail. So yeah, I just wanted to get a little taste of that bullfrog audio there, because you can really hear he's croaking up a storm. So this is the old wool factory. Also some sort of inn at some point. So believe it or not, this was some sort of hub of activity maybe 150 years ago. Still standing today. I think people come here and do wedding stuff. I've seen wedding photos of this thing, and it's sort of, now it's right in the middle of like a bog or something right by the river. Like the land around it's all, you know, very biodiverse. Looks like it's a sort of a set from a movie or something. And then this way is a no trespassing area. Can't go down there. But yeah, this is an interesting landmark. We talked about it on the blog at some point, and you can read more about it. There's other videos that people have made about this landmark. It's a local landmark that you only see if you're traveling down this this Cambridge to Paris rail trail, which is a bike trail / walking trail. And I guess the question of why would you want to, you know, be in an area like this or live in an area like this, is because it's very naturally beautiful. And if you like, there's actually some houses up here along the road, but the natural beauty is sort of one of the features of this area. And people kind of just cruise by this thing and check it out once in a while. So, you know, I always check it out when I'm going to Paris or down this trail to Glen Morris, which is where I'm heading now, on my bike on a nice April day. And to be continued. Just wanted to point out this interesting little creek that runs into the ruins there. You can't really see, too well, so many trees, but this sort of green, sort of lily pad looking thing runs down there and it goes right into the ruins. Pretty neat. And here I've stopped because there's a sign, which is, this kilometer is sponsored by the Cambridge Harriers Running Club. Just pointing out that this trail is not in complete wilderness. There's just a road right up there where there's houses on the road, and people use this trail all the time. So it's nice to know there's like some sort of people looking after the trail. Actually, when you look in the woods here, there's a lot of looks like they're pruning trees, and like they cut some stuff down, I guess, maybe if they seem like they might be dangerous. Like I've been noticing a lot of trees that have fallen naturally, and other trees that have been like specifically like sawed down. And I'm sure there's a reason for it, just to keep the trail nice and clean. But yeah, so let's continue. This is a really neat part of the trail where the hill goes way up here. There's like a 50, 75 foot embankment where the highways are right up there, and then down here is this grassy area, grassy knoll, what have you. But it's interesting, the dynamic between, you got the highway and then you got this steep drop which gets to the trail, and then you go down even further and you've got this like kind of grassy area where you almost think you could have a picnic, except for I never see anyone out there, and probably it's very mushy, but just scenically it's very neat to look at. And here is the big bridge with one of the nicest views of Cambridge, North Dumfries in the fall or in the spring, or I guess even in the winter when things are looking very picturesque. But especially the fall, when you're coming over this bridge, this whole ridge over here is like, lit up with different colors of leaves, and it's very stunning actually. It's only like a 10 or 20 second experience, but you go over this hill, you're coming from like Glen Morris, Paris over this way, and then this way is over to North Dumfries, Cambridge, and the Grand River's right here. So not a train bridge, but like a vehicle bridge, passenger bridge, whatever you want to call it, and just has a really nice sort of it comes from there's like an intersection just up there with the diner and some other things that are part of Glen Morris. So Glen Morris actually has some civilization to speak of. There's actual houses and buildings and things, and up ahead here in about 5 minutes I'm going to hit the sort of the whatever, it's the launch point for, you go down the trail and you will see there's a place you can sit and look at the river, and also like bring your kayak or whatever, and you can head down the river. So the river's heading that way, and it's coming from this way, and okay, we'll head down this way. All right, so back there's the bridge, and if you just look over here, we are in Glen Morris, part of the Grand River Rail Trail. Nice plaque over here with some information on recovery reach of the Grand River. The section of the Grand River between Cambridge and Brantford is known as the Recovery Reach. There are 4 cities and lots of farms upstream. By the time the Grand River gets to Glen Morris, its water has been well used. And there's sort of a diagram, which I won't get into, but yeah, this is sort of the town. It comes down the hill here into this area where you can park and you can disembark, and there's some benches over here. There's nobody here really, selling popcorn or cotton candy, but it's just a very unassuming little spot with a few little frills here. But yeah, the town's just up here. People love this spot, and it's got a few things like garbages. There's some bathrooms back there, and some more information. So obviously someone cares enough to put this stuff up and provide, oh look, Carolinian, Canada, talking about the Grand River Forest, Spottiswood Lakes. So yeah, I wasn't kidding about the Carolinian Forest. It is here, and we're in it. So very exciting. I'm gonna head down this trail towards the water with my very exceptional Peugeot bike. You'll notice some geese. And the river's here. Some more bogs, marshes. Some people over here. All right, let's take a look at the river. So yeah, this is a real quaint little spot for people. Very tranquil, and yeah, nice place to hang out.